Guys. What's going on? What's going on? Is it live? It is live. Okay. What's going on, guys? Who's ready for this topic? Who is ready for this topic? I am live and I'm waiting to see who comes on. It's Topic Tuesday. I know usually I do Topic Thursday, but today I'm doing Topic Tuesday. I'm about to share this out. So I'm gonna wait for 2 more minutes and then I'm gonna get started. I don't like the angle of this. Put this here. I think that's a little better. Not much, but a little bit. So what's going on, guys? How was your Tuesday? I hope everybody is well. Hope everybody's well. So much people are live now, but I didn't want to not go live today. I wanted to see how everybody is doing and hope everybody had a great day and it was positive. And if not, I hope tomorrow will be, hey Tammy's World, how are you doing? Welcome. I hope you're well. I hope you had a good day. Hey Elena, how are you doing? Welcome. I'm good. Did you have a good Tuesday? Was it busy? Busy and crazy? Huh? Turn me on live. Every single time. Yeah, guys, it was busy and crazy. What made it crazy, Tammy? Sorry about the lighting. Trying to turn away. Oh, that's a little better. I missed the comment. Hi. You have crazy customers. They think the world revolves around them. Can you guys see me? It's saying reconnecting. Let me know if you guys can see me still because. Oh, you liked? Thank you so much, Elena. You guys let me know if you see me. If you see me. Oh, you can see me? Okay, good. Because I didn't know. Because my stupid tablet is saying reconnecting. Yeah, guys. I'm sorry you had a crazy day, Tammy. It's so crazy that all the things that, we have to deal with to get money, when we work. We have to deal with so much foolishness on the job, foolishness at school. Oh, I had a good day. I just didn't feel it was nothing wrong with the day. It's just I just wasn't feeling so hot today. So, hey Boss Life Online, welcome. How are you doing? But I just wanted to come in and see how you guys are. I want to be, I feel like it's a choice. Everybody has a choice. So, Tammy's World. I'm just trying to push through it. I'm just trying to push through it. You know, sometimes you have to put on what is it called? A facade for people on the job, because you don't want everybody in your business, because you know you need to work, and you know that, yeah, a mask. So you know that you need to work, and you know you need to make money. So it's no point in telling people you don't feel good, because it's like, if you tell them, then they're just going to say, hey, go home. And then what happens? Your money gets affected. So I just pushed through today and put my mask on. you know, a lot of times I think as women, you have to learn what hats to put on. Like sometimes you have to be like, you have to be a mom sometimes you got to be a sister, you got to be a cousin, you got to be a doctor, you have to be the nurse, you have to be the accountant. Women have to go through so much. So I wanted to give you guys some appreciation, some positive vibes, some positive thoughts, that even though my day was fine and good, I still, I'm still pushing through. And that's why I'm trying to tell you guys, it's a choice. Usually before, I would have, like the old me, I would have been grouchy, snapping at people. But you have to learn to be in control of your mind. So that's why I wanted to do this topic of pouring love into yourself. A lot of times, I'm not saying men don't have this issue, but a lot of times with women, you're always pouring, you're always pouring, putting on this mask, putting on that mask. Like, when do you get to take off all of the mask or all of the hats and just focus on you and work on yourself? Um, it's hard to do, It's hard to do. It's hard to just be authentically you without people. After a while, you have nothing left for you, right? And that's why I wanted to do this topic, because I think it's important, not just men, women, even children. You should learn at whatever stage you are in your life. You need to learn to pour some love back into yourself, because I think that's when people get like illnesses and mental breakdowns and all kinds of different things, is because their battery is at zero. They're not recharging their batteries. Um, One of the best things that a woman can do, or a man, it goes both ways, is to say no. And I don't know why it's so hard. Hey, Road to Monetization, how are you doing? It's so hard for some people to just say no. That's why you took a break from everything, right? And everybody has to do it. Oh, I'm glad you're fine. Thanks for joining. If you could thumbs it up, please. That's why you have to learn. It's something that not everybody has that within them, to know when to say no, know when to pull back from others. And it's nothing wrong with it. And I think sometimes people who are outside, who are not you, they just feel like, because if you're a giving person, and most women out there and guys, they're very loving, they're very giving, but you got to know when to draw a line in the sand and say, hey, I think it's time for me to pull back. And I think sometimes some people think that it's like a big thing that you have to like get away. There's nothing wrong with it. But others take advantage of you. Right, Tammy's World. So true. People play on that. People play on your kindness. They take your kindness for a weakness. But you as a individual, and it's part of the whole positive vibration that to be able to be positive to others, you have to give some of that positivity back to yourself. You have to pour that love back into yourself. You can't always just give, 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 give. It's okay to receive some love for yourself. And I'm going to give you some examples of that. Yes, preach. I'm going to give you some examples of that. Most mothers, and especially the single mothers, it sounds like you're crying or hurting. Yeah, that's. I told you guys I'm not doing so good today. Hey Jeffrey, how are you doing? Thanks for coming by. Thumbs it up, please. Yeah, Tammy's where I told you already the deal. I have my mask on, so I'm coming to you guys as a sister in love, because I feel like I don't know who needs it, but I feel like somebody needs it. So I said I'm not going to be selfish. I'm not going to hold back from teaching somebody who may have been where I was a little while ago. And it's nothing wrong with being an empowered woman or an empowered man that knows their boundaries and knows their limits. For such a long time, I didn't know my boundary. You had, I had. Oh, you did, Tammy? I'm so sorry, honey. Yeah, that's why this is so important. It's so important because you just want to make others happy. You want to do things for others. You want to give to others. You know, you want to show up for people. You don't want to let people down. You don't want to hurt people. But you actually are hurting yourself when you don't give to yourself. So it winds up being counterproductive. You're not being productive to anybody, because if you are at zero, what can you give to somebody else? Nothing. Hey, Leo, how are you doing? Welcome. Thumbs it up on coming in. Because it's just like, what can you give to somebody when you're at zero? What are you going to give when you're in a negative or a zero space? Hello. Hey, it's time to put yourself back on the map. And I think a lot of times people think that it's something wrong with it. I have my Sundays. Oh, you're good? I'm glad you're good. Thanks for coming in, Leo, joining on the conversation. I think a lot of times, oh, my day was good. I had a good day. I think a lot of times people think it's something wrong to block people out. Sometimes you just need to block people out, and you can't think someone else can bring you happiness. That's true, Jeffrey. That's a true statement right there. Because how do I say this? I think a lot of times people are looking for their happiness from others. They think their kids or their mates or their friends. You had a similar situation over the weekend. Yeah. They, I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but they feel like other people in their lives are the ones that are going to make them happy. No, you have to make your own self happy. Your happiness comes from within your heart and in your mind, and it's not based on other people. Um, I know what you're saying. Okay, good. Sometimes I feel like that gets kind of lost in translation. And I just wanted to give you guys some encouragement, because sometimes your mind may not be strong enough. You may have the internal battle, that battle within yourself saying, oh my goodness, Yes, true happiness comes from within. You had to learn that. I know. And it's something that person might be in the beginning stage of depression. True. That's true, Tammy. It's sometimes it's not something that you can just shake off. Sometimes a person may be in so deep that they're going to need to seek some help. Some people even to take some medication. But whatever it is, you need to learn to pour some love back into yourself. Um, Learn to say no. That's one of the most freeing things that has ever happened to me in my entire life. Learning to say no. Like when people say something like, hey, do you want to come with me to whatever X, Y, and Z place? And if I don't want to go there, I'm not going to go. Do you want to go? No. And then they get mad. Like, why are you mad at me? You asked me if I want to do something, and I told you no. Sometimes the pouring the love into yourself is being completely honest and free with yourself. Uh, a lot of times you kind of suppress your own wants and needs and desires to make other people happy. But there's times where you can, hey, Callie, how are you doing? Welcome. How are you doing? Sometimes you can kind of, I learned that lesson a few years ago. My pastor had to sit me down and tell me the same thing. I missed the end of that comment, Tammy's World. Let's say, yeah, no. You have to learn to say no. Yeah. And it's really hard. It's really hard. Not for everybody. Some people struggle with it more, but it's good for you guys. It's good, guys. Not saying you have to say no all the time, but you need to learn within your limits when it's time for you to pull back a little bit and say, um, I really don't think I want to do that. You have to be authentic with yourself. Don't be a people pleaser. Because one of the things I will say to you guys, I knew somebody who was a people pleaser, and guess what happened? When they had an illness, hey, Triple J family, how are you doing? Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Please join in on the conversation. Um, when that person got really sick, and nobody was around, now what happens? That person was being there for everybody, extending themselves, and then when they needed someone to show up for them and be there for them, who was there? And sometimes I think people need to learn to take a look in their own mirror, the mirror, and say, hey, hey, self, hey, it's me. It's me. Remember me. Take care of me. Love me. Sometimes we need some reminders to love ourselves. Like, hey, remember me? You used to care for me and you used to take care of me and you loved me and you did things that made you happy. Sometimes you need to remind yourself to bring those things back. Bring those things back into your life. Do things again that make you happy. Do things that make you smile. And sometimes it may be a situation and you may say, hey, I don't have the money. I don't have the funds to, yeah, you find out who your real friends are when you are in need. Oh, preach, brother. Preach, brother, okay? Because, I'm not going to get into the details on here, but, when I got into a situation after, um, the death of both of my parents, and I feel like I'm a really good friend. I'll just say it like that. I feel like I'm a really good friend. And I think sometimes I'm too much of a good friend. Like, I care about people more than they care about me. And I had to learn that, like, wait a minute. All the time I've been there for everybody, and like nobody is calling me and saying, "Hey, how are you doing? Are you okay?" No cards, no flowers, no like, "Hey, let's go out." Like people just pulled away from me, and I was like, "What is going on? Why am I getting treated like this?" And then I started to think, well, maybe I'm not a good friend. You start having like the self-doubt, but I know that's not the case because I know that you're the same way. I bend over backwards for people. Right. And I just had to, you know, come to myself, my self-awareness, like have a talk with myself. Like, don't do that to yourself. Don't put yourself down. You're a good person. Just sometimes I guess people don't know how to handle, you know, when you're the strong friend, you're the one that's always there for others. And they're not maybe a strong person and they don't know how to be a good friend, I guess you could say. Um, they don't know how to give you what you give them. So, and it's hurtful. You may feel very hurt, very offended. I know I was for a long time. Very hurt and offended. Like, how come people aren't here for me? Like, why aren't people checking on me? Not a phone call, not a text. Like, for real? Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like in shock. I was like in shock. So, it made me rethink now. Um, Everything you're saying, I can relate to everything. I became so depressed after a while. Tammy, listen, sis. Um, Send me an email. And we need to have a real conversation outside of here, and we can talk about some things. But yeah, you have to start putting yourself first. That's why I wanted to do this topic, because I know I'm not the only one who your battery is either it's at zero or it's about to be at zero. And I want to talk to you guys because I want to share things as your sister in love, who's looking out for you, who's looking out for your best interest, because sometimes you may not have people in your life that are going to say, "Hey, I think it's time you pour some love into yourself." Everybody needs that type of friend that says, "Hey, start taking care of yourself. Hey, when's the last time you did something you enjoyed? When's the last time you did something that was going to bring you happiness and joy?" Put yourself back on the map, guys. It's never too late. Don't ever think it's too late to love yourself again. You may have to relearn, because it may have been so long since you've shown love to yourself. You may have to relearn and stop and think, what do I really enjoy? What brings me happiness? And start working on those things little by little. Don't overwhelm yourself. Start with little things like, you know, only you know what those things are that bring you joy. Start doing them. Take some time out for yourself, you know. It doesn't have to be an extended long vacation where you spend all this money. You could just wake up earlier in the morning. Yes, email me, Tammy's World. Um, you just wake up earlier, and get out of the house, maybe go somewhere. So true, spent a lot of years learning to love myself and being there for myself. I had an excellent therapist who helped me. I know. Gio, I know. Okay, sis. There is nothing. Getting a therapist, I think it should be mandatory for every single human being on the planet. No matter what you've been through in your life, everybody can use a therapist that's going to help them to work on themselves. And my therapist changed my life. My therapist made me be the woman that I am now. Um, a point of self actualization where I realized, like, it was like one of those things, like shocking, like spraying water on your face, like, what are you doing? Why aren't you taking care of yourself? Why aren't you loving yourself? You know, sometimes you kind of have to like shock yourself back into, a jolt or something, like a spark. Like, it's time to start thinking about yourself again. It's time to start loving myself again. And the only way you're going to do that is you have to first of all accept. You have to first of all, I don't like the light. It's this lamp. Sorry, guys. You have to start putting yourself on the map and thinking about yourself and believing that you matter. You know, you have to believe that you matter in some way. And I think sometimes when you may get down, you get depressed, or you get caught up, or you're going through an illness, whatever it is, whatever situation that you're going through right now. When you go through a hard time in your life, you kind of need to reevaluate everything in your life again and start new and fresh in your thinking, and make an evaluation and say, I tried this before, but that wasn't working. So I'm going to try this and see how it works. I'm going to try to put myself back on the map and do some things that's loving for me. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's not selfish. You're not being selfish when you put yourself back on the map. You're going to start feeling so good about yourself, and you're going to feel rejuvenated, and you're going to get peace of mind. Peace of mind. Guys, there's nothing like it. If you don't have peace of mind, you know it. Yes, you have to take an honest inventory of yourself. It's something, guys, when you take a look at yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you see. A lot of people don't want to be real with themselves. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be real with themselves because when they look at themselves in the mirror, they don't like what they see. The first thing you need to do is get a massage, then mani and pedi. Right. Um, you have to. And for me, I had to take control when it came to food. Um, I was starting to cover up my pain with food, like just cover it up with food. You know what I'm saying? Oh, food, if I eat this, this will make me feel better. So it became like a habit. So instead of dealing with the problem or dealing with my stress, I was eating it away. Hey, Rice Hawk, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Um, so that's what I was doing. I was eating away my pain, and the only thing that was getting better, bigger, was my body and my clothing. And then you start getting the whatever it's called. Then your self-esteem starts to go down because then you don't start feeling good about yourself. So what do? It's a cycle. Then you keep eating and you're expanding, and then you feel bad about yourself, so you eat some more. So it became a cycle. So I had to see my therapist because I knew that it was unhealthy what I was doing, but I didn't know how to stop it. Sometimes when you get in a situation like that, when you start developing unhealthy habits, you need somebody, you need some professional help to help you. Like, now I'm good. I'm so good now. I'm actually vegetarian now. You guys check me out, huh? Somebody who was a person eating unhealthy, 2 to 3 candy bars a day, a soda, um, French fries almost every day, to now eating salads and all kinds of vegetables, corn on the cob and sweet potato, when before everything that I consumed was fried. guys know I'm in the South, right? Everything I was eating was fried. So part of pouring that love, what is, I don't know what that is. Oh, is that a bell, Tammy? I don't know. I don't know what that is, Tammy. I'm sorry, I'm blind. Um, oh, you're sending me hugs. Oh, thank you, love. Um, so I had to do it because I talked to myself one day. One day I was like getting ready to go out and I had like a breakdown in the bathroom. Oh, thank you. I had like a breakdown in the bathroom, like started crying and stuff. Like I didn't even recognize myself. I'm like, what am I doing to myself? Why am I treating myself this way? You know? I know my worth. Like, what am I doing? So it's one of those things where you just have to take a hard look at yourself in the mirror, evaluate yourself, and be honest with yourself. When you're unhappy with something, figure out why you're unhappy. And the whole point of it is how can you find a solution? What are you going to do about it? What changes are you going to make? Um, Part of loving yourself sometimes is making hard decisions for yourself. It's hard to make decisions to cut some people out of your life, um, saying no to people. It actually takes a lot of pain to motivate change. Yeah, and that's where I was. I was almost to a point of becoming diabetic, and I said I'm not gonna do this. I was like, I said I just decided one day I was like, I'm not gonna hurt myself anymore. That's the realization I came to it in the mirror in the bathroom. I said I'm no longer gonna hurt myself. I just said I'm gonna start eating to live instead of living to eat. So that's when I decided to get rid of all the meat. It was just like I had a moment of clarity and peace, and that was my journey. I'm not telling you guys that's what's gonna happen for you. I'm just sharing my journey, and I decided that that's how you were with alcohol, right? Everybody has their own moment. Everybody has their own self journey, their journey to happiness and love, and whatever that is for you. I wish you the best on that journey. But you have to be real with yourself, guys. You have to be real with yourself, and if you're not real with yourself, who's gonna be? It's hard for you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm very unhappy. Like right now, I hate myself, you know? And that's what I was saying to myself in the mirror that day. Like, I really hate myself right now because I'm hurting myself. Um, and when you love yourself, you don't do things to hurt yourself. So I made a drastic change like overnight. I just said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And my life had changed from that because I made a choice to put myself back on the map and say, I'm going to start caring about myself and loving myself. And that was my journey, guys. That was my journey. And I'm sure life keeps changing and other things are going to happen in my life. And in future times, I'm going to reevaluate and make other changes. But for right now, I'm back to taking good care of myself. And I'm so happy because I'm no longer, what is it called? Dependent on my food for my happiness. Hi, Snoopy. How are you doing? Welcome. And I can be 100% real and open with that. I had a problem with food, and I no longer, I know that I no longer have to eat to cover my pain. Now I just cope with the pain. I cope with it. and deal with it and handle it, and don't put a band-aid on it. You can't put a band-aid on your pain. You gotta deal with it, confront it, and that's what I did. I had to deal with all those skeletons in my closet. Why was I eating X, Y, and Z? Because of this. And when you open up that wound, be ready for what is going to come out of that wound. Sometimes it kind of surprises you. You don't even know why it is that you do what you do until one day you ask yourself. I sat in a quiet space. Yeah, alcohol is dangerous. Um, I had to sit in a quiet space and just listen to myself and be real with myself. Like, whoa, that's really how you feel. Okay, and then work on it. Then I had to work on it, but it takes you being honest with yourself, and I want you guys to be honest with yourself. Whatever it is that you're going through now, whatever it is that you're struggling with, put yourself back on the map. You haven't had any alcohol in 12 years? Wow, props to you, Jeffrey. Boom. Props to you. I know that that's not something easy. It's not something easy. So, congratulations to you. Keep it up. So, guys, I just wanted to yeah, congratulate Jeffrey. That's not something easy. That's a daily struggle. It's a daily struggle. Yep, boom. It is definitely a daily struggle. So everybody has different. Don't thank me, Jeffrey. You need to be thanking yourself. Um, it's important for people to learn to love themselves. I don't think the majority of the people out there on the planet Earth even know what it is like to love themselves. They have a version of love in their life. They think they love themselves or they're trying to love themselves, but do they really? Most no, they don't. And it's okay. Everybody is on a journey. Everybody is on a journey of love. You don't use any alcohol? Wow. Yeah, everybody has their journey. Thanks for sharing that, Rise Hawk. Um, everybody has their journey and stuff, so I just want whatever it is, whatever struggle. Hi, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Thumbs it up on coming in. Um, I just want to give you guys some be real. Have a moment of realness. Look at yourself in the mirror. Take some time to just be by yourself and listen. Listen to your own thoughts. A lot of people, I think most people don't have time where they just sit down and just listen to their own thoughts, like whatever that may be. Um, Most of the time, people, it's like as soon as they wake up, the first thing they do is turn on the TV or turn on the radio or put on some music. They're in the car, the same thing. It always has to be some kind of external noise. I think it's really important for you to have time where you just sit still, be quiet, and listen to your own thoughts. Listen to your own thoughts. I know sometimes the thoughts that you may have, you may not like. You may not like what you're hearing from your own thoughts, but it's important to listen to it. Yes, hello, Hannah Phil. Welcome. It's important to. You're still listening. Okay, Tammy's World, thank you. It's so important to pour that love back into yourself, guys. And if you don't pour that love into yourself, who is going to? Who's going to love you if you don't love yourself? That's very apparent from when people get sick or they have a mental breakdown or whatever it is, whatever the situation is, or you get sick. Now, what's going to happen? Now you're going to have to sit down and face it. It's not easy to face your own situation and to accept. It's hard to accept that you may not be treating yourself the way that you need to. It's not easy to accept that. But who wants to say to themselves, I'm not treating myself well. Nobody wants to accept that. Everybody wants to think that they're treating themselves as a queen or a king. You know, I'm a king or a queen, and I treat myself royally. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes we're pouring all our love into others that we're not pouring anything back into ourselves. And you have to pour love back into yourself. And if you don't, listen, your body is going to tell you and show you. Either you make a choice to start loving yourself and pouring that love back into yourself, or your body is going to force you to pour that love back into yourself. It's your choice. It's your choice. I'm just trying to share the love, and hopefully I hope that you're going to do it the right way and listen to yourself and listen to your mind and your own. Is it back? Yeah, it's back. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. It said reconnecting. But you have to pour love back into yourself, and I'll tell you that from personal experience. If you don't, your body is going to shut down. When I say shut down, I mean shut down. You're going to be at zero. And I don't want you guys to be at zero. Catch it before that zero, before you're like, before your battery shuts for the count, because there's such pressure. Okay, Tammy's, well, thank you. I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by and supporting me, honey. Um, I want you guys to catch it and realize what is happening in your life before you're not able to catch it, because unfortunately some people don't live, and some people pass away. They died because they didn't learn to love themselves enough. And I don't want you guys to get to a point where in your life where you could die because you're not loving yourself. And I don't want you to ever to that point where you die because giving anything to yourself, because your mind and your body can't survive in such a negative and unhappy environment. You have to pour that love back into yourself. Thank you for doing some yeah, it is the worst case scenario, but I'm just saying this because I want you guys to understand how important it is. It's really important to pour this love back into yourself, and I know that that's the worst case scenario, and I don't want it to happen to anybody. But I'm just letting you know that it's so important for you to get back to loving yourself, to get into caring about yourself again. Because if you've gotten off track, that means you can get back on track. You can get back on track again. It's not hopeless. It's not hopeless. So don't give up. I know that it's a struggle. Everybody has responsibilities. You have your family, you have work, you know, lots of things. Then you have to also do, cleaning and this, blah, 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 on and on with your levels of stress. But in order to maintain your happiness, to feel good about yourself, you have to pour some love back into yourself. Pour some love back into yourself. And it can be done in easy steps. Easy steps. When I say easy steps, what do I mean? I mean putting yourself back on the map. Sometimes it's just as easy as taking this thing that we have now in our generation, this cell phone, and turning it off. Sometimes you just need to block out the external forces out there, the entertainment things, the cell phones, the Instagram, the Facebook, all of that. Sometimes you need to just block it out and just have some time where you're by yourself in your thoughts, doing things that you want to do, things that make you happy. And I know that's easier said than done, but with good planning, you can. You can get back to your happy spot in your life. And until you're doing the things that you really want to do, thank you, Boss Life. I appreciate that. And until you are doing the things that you want to do in your life, you're never going to be happy. If you're always going to be fulfilling other people's obligations and working along with other people's goals, but you're never working on achieving your own goals, you're never going to be happy. You will never achieve happiness while you work on other people's goals. You have to work on yourself. It's a continual process. To love yourself is a continual process that never ends. The journey to love yourself never ends. And you cannot look for that love from anybody else than yourself. That love has to start within your own self. So you have to make sure that, first of all, your self esteem is okay. And if it's not, start doing things that you know make you feel good. Start thinking positively about your life and your situation. This all starts in your mind. What you choose to think about is so important. Your mind has so much power. A lot of times people don't really think about it enough. But when you start feeding yourself negativity, that's what you become. You are what you think about. And if you start thinking negative things about yourself and thinking about yourself in a negative space that, maybe I'm not smart enough, maybe I can't do things, I'm stupid, and nobody likes me, nobody cares about me, I don't matter. When you start putting those things in your mind, that's what you start to believe it, because that's all you're feeding yourself. But if you're feeding yourself that positive energy, that happiness, that light, hi, Hannafel. If you're feeding yourself that light and love and nurturing yourself by thinking good things, that I'm wonderful, I deserve to have time. Bye, Hanfel. Thinking that you deserve time by yourself. that you're important, you're wonderful, and you deserve to have time by yourself. Because if you don't have time by yourself to think about what you want, how are you going to ask other people to help you if you yourselves don't know what you want? You have to first know what you want and what you need from yourself first before you can expect others to show up and be there for you. If you don't know, how is anybody else going to know? How is anybody else going to be able to be there for you? They can't. People can't give you anything if you're at zero. What do you have to give and to share? Nothing. Nothing. So I just want to give you guys some encouragement to, if you're in a space in your life where you don't even know where to start, but you just know you need to start somewhere. First thing is to start with your mind. Start with a journal and start writing down positive things. I love to do lists in a journal, and I have a cons and a pros. But start with the pros. Start writing all of the wonderful things about yourself. Um, Whatever it is, whatever your personality is. Focus on your uniqueness. Most of the time, we are our worst critic, that we can beat up our own self. We can talk ourselves out of things. I need to get a new start for myself. Right. We can always grow, Rise Hawk. We can always grow and do better in our lives. But you first have to believe that you need to do better. Because if you continue to accept where you are now in your life and thinking that it's okay and you never do anything about it, what is going to change if you're not trying to make changes or do something? Nothing is going to change without the effort. Nothing. So you have to put in the effort for yourself, because you have to believe that you deserve the time. You deserve the time to improve yourselves, the time to make yourself better and to make yourself happy, because it's nothing like when you put a smile on your own face that nobody has to give you that smile. You know, you don't need anybody else to make you happy. You should already be happy right here in your heart and your mind. Nobody can give you that. That's something that you have to possess. That's part of your self esteem, your self love, your self awareness. Nobody can give you that. And I think a lot of times that's the reason why relationships go south. Because if you cannot love yourself, what are you going to give to somebody else? You can't give. What are you going to give? Huh? What are you going to give? I am always have a smile on my face, but life is going hard for me. Oh, I'm sorry, Rise Hawk. That's why I just wanted to come on here, give you guys some food for thought. I'm not discouraging you guys. I just want to give you guys something to think about. Think about what you can do to improve your life, to make a new start, to put back the love within yourself and caring about yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to. And that could be the reason why you may feel down now, or discouraged, or sad, or your self esteem is low, because you're not treating yourself the way that you deserve. And if nobody else will tell you this, I'm going to tell you. You deserve to be happy. You deserve love. And you deserve to love yourself. So, to love yourself, you have to put yourself back on the map. You have to put yourself back to caring about yourself and doing things that are conducive to your personal growth. Do things that's going to help you to grow and to be better and to keep learning, because life is a learning process. So start learning about what makes you happy. Sometimes that's something that you may have to learn. You may have gone through your whole life and you're right about that. I got to get going now. See you next time. Thanks for coming in, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. Um Sometimes you may go through your whole entire life not even being aware that you deserve love. The ability to love yourself is something that you learn. I don't know if anybody ever just loves themselves. It's a continuous process. It's a journey. It's a journey of love and light. Um, that you have to keep tweaking it and working on it, because it changes. It changes as you get older, as circumstances happen in your life. So don't give up on your love for yourself. Don't give up, because I know sometimes you could get down and discouraged with the circumstances of your life, and kind of put your own self on the back burner. Don't put yourself on the back burner. Remember yourself again, and come back to loving yourself, and remembering that you matter. So you may have to tell yourself that. I had to tell myself that. Hey, hey, you in the mirror, you matter, and you're important, and you're special, and you're a magnificent individual. And so it's time for you to love yourself again. You may need to tell yourself that. I know I had to. I had to tell myself that it's time to put myself back to loving myself. And it's a journey, guys. It's a journey for everyone. And I wish you guys all the best in your journey of love and light and happiness. So start by taking some time out for yourself, doing some things that you enjoy, doing things that make you smile, because there's nothing like when you smile naturally. Nobody gave you that smile. You're just smiling because you just feel so good about yourself. There's nothing like it. And I hope everybody gets to experience that kind of love and happiness within themselves, because you all deserve it. So keep working on yourself, guys. Keep working on yourself, and don't give up in the process, because it's not easy. It's not an easy journey to loving yourself. Is continual, and I want you guys to continue to love you. Keep pouring that love into yourself. Keep pouring the love into yourself, and things will work out. Things will work out, but you have to, first of all, accept that you need to make some changes in your life. Make those changes. Do what is necessary. And trust me, you're going to feel so good. Sometimes I say to myself, I am sexy, I am sexy. But when I see myself in the mirror, then I say, okay, a little bit. Right, Talk, you're so funny. So, guys, I just wanted to come and give you guys this positive encouragement, this love and light, and I hope it boosted your self esteem, or at least gave you something to think about. And I want you guys to think about it honestly when you're alone by yourself. Think about how you can improve yourself and work on yourself. You only get one you. You only get one you. So treat yourself good. Treat the one self that you're going to get. Treat your one self good. And I wish you guys love for yourself. So that's what I came in to tell you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I appreciate each and every one of you that always come to my live stream. Thank you so much. You guys each are important to me, and I hope you guys got some sort of encouragement from this. And if you could share this out on different social media sites, I would appreciate that. And thumbs it up. And if you're not subscribed to me, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow when I go live again. I'll see you guys. Thanks to all my mods. Thanks to the mod squad and everybody else who's always so loyal to me. Thank you guys.